forgotten tale. A tale of heroes who rose from humble beginnings and fought a great evil. A tale of friendship and love, of loss and betrayal. But this tale is lost. This tale is not our tale. So perhaps it is a current tale. A tale of a great queen who united warring lands. A tale of the land of dragons. A tale of a would-be hero going down a path of good intention, but ill results. A tale of conspiracy and subterfuge. But alas, that is not our tale either. No. Our tale starts as an echo. A tale perhaps doomed to repeat past mistakes. A possibility that could have never been triggered. Our tale starts with a burdened noble in a field, a grieving man in rough waters, and a loving father traveling a long road. None heroes, none with plans to be so, but plans often fall in the presence of destiny.
Morris, what does your character look like?
Rokain is a high elf, though probably on the paler side. Short, shaggy brown hair, wears pretty much optimal clothing. He doesn't try to look extravagant unless required. Just t-shirt, pants, perfectly fine. The only thing that stands out would be either his, I forgot the name of the color, mustard yellow scarf, and a little feather that he has tucked behind his ear. Oh, and he wears glasses.
Okay.
Yes.
Today's a day you've been looking forward to for a while. It's a day where Kasai is going to take you off property, a little bit outside of the city, and there will be training, yes, but it's also just kind of an opportunity to get away, you know, from your parents, from your responsibilities, just for a little bit. Obviously not for long, but you'll be training, and you'll be doing some survival practice too. Really, this is Kasai's excuse to take you on a camping trip.
I mean, yay, but also...
You have to be able to survive somewhere that isn't the city. Young master.
Of course, I know.
Now, we're going to set up a fire. What's the first step of setting up a fire? Surely you've read a book about this.
I mean, it kind of depends on which starting point you mean.
Assume we're starting from nothing, because we are.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Well, technically, depending on where you are, you would want to put rocks in a circle to make sure that the fire doesn't spread if it's somewhere grassy, I guess.
We are indeed somewhere grassy.
So we should probably do that then. And then grab some kindling and sticks and then some wood.
You can... Okay. You don't have to always question if I'm going to disapprove of your answers. I think we've known each other long enough by now to know that even if your answer was wrong, I would not judge you for it. In this case, it was not wrong. I will assure you of that. I could see you were quite nervous that I was leading into disappointing you. No.
Okay. Yeah, I knew. I know.
I will set up the rocks.
And I'll go collect wood.
Indeed. Be alert. I have not taken us anywhere known for its wildlife. But still, it's best to always be prepared, yes?
Yeah, I mean, I won't get lost, probably. As he, like, kind of slight smirk of just like a,
There we go. So yes, I assume you head off?
Yeah, he'll probably head off towards whatever direction has woods.
Now, I'm going to say this. Rokain's a city boy.
Absolutely.
You very quickly get lost.
Oh, absolutely. Like, shit.
You very quickly have no idea what you're doing, and you're picking up wood, and you're like, this is too wet. No, I need it to be dry. Do I need it to be...
Well, yeah, obviously I need it to be dry, because then it won't... You almost cook. It won't burn.
But, like, you're questioning yourself a little, because, again, you know...
Is it a good size? I don't know, because maybe it won't burn as long as we need it to. Maybe it's too big. What if I can't carry it all back?
Yeah, you just have this full of, like, you have some twigs. You have, like, a few really long but thin branches.
That's for roasting the marshmallows.
Obviously. And then you have, like, 2 just thick-ass logs that, like, fell from trees or something. Could you, Rokain, roll me a perception check?
I can do my best. It'll be a 16.
You hear it before you see it.
We're going to move in the opposite direction of that noise quite quickly.
You move in the opposite direction, but then you hear in the direction you're heading towards. Every direction you're turning.
Oh, no. I think at that point he's probably spinning in each direction that it comes from, trying to figure out where it's coming from so he can run in the other direction.
Coming from the north, from the east, from the south, from the west. 4 creatures.
Oh, shit.
Unlike anything you've ever seen. They look like something that maybe was once human. But now they are viscously black. And somehow oozing, but in a sharp way. The angles are too sharp to be human. The way they move is unnatural. It's like a glitching camera. Like every step is something missing. And they head towards you, and their eye, it will be 2 eyes, and then it'll merge into 1, and then it'll go 2 again. Like it can't decide what state it should remain in. And they're heading towards you.
I think at the best bet, it's probably going to be he's going to take one of the directions that one is coming in. I think he's going to hurl one of the logs at it as hard as he can and hope that distracts it long enough to where he can run past it, whether that be in a curve or anything. That way he can get past all of them and just kind of keep going. Whether that tires him out and he gets deeper into the woods or not, we'll find out.
Roll to attack.
Improvised attack, so I'm assuming there ain't no additives. It's a 14.
That's not bad.
But it's not good enough.
No. You throw this. It doesn't hit them, but it does make them go and look to the side and distracts them long enough for you to just shoot forward.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are, Rokain. Are you just running straight?
He's just running as fast as he can, hoping that it's the right direction at this point.
Roll me a flat d20 for luck. Or, if you want to stay a little slower, you can roll survival.
I honestly don't think he's going for survival. It's
That's
just going to
fair.
be a flat luck. A 15.
You're running. You don't know if it's your clearing, but you see an out to the wood. You don't know if Kasai's there.
No, but he's booking it through that because it's possible.
Are you shouting for your mentor?
Probably at that point,
Yeah,
especially
because
if
they're
it's
on
coming
your
towards,
tails.
Yeah,
So there's not like, oh, if I shout, they're gonna find me. They're on you.
yeah. No, he's definitely, if it's an emergency, well, absolutely it's an emergency. But he's probably yelling, has since lost all of his kindling and firewood and everything.
I would hope he's not still hanging on to I'm running for my life, but I have to keep this one log.
This one log could come in super, super duper handy later on. We don't know. No, he has probably since lost all of that.
You emerge. The field is empty as of now. And these things are coming in closer.
Is there no... Like, I don't see where we even started to make the fire or anything like that at all.
You can make a perception. I'm going to say it's at disadvantage because you're a little panicked.
That's fair. Oh, well, that's an 8. Probably ain't going to get better than that. It was an 8. So in total, a 9.
You have no... You're looking left. You're looking right. You're looking all around, and you just... Everything is, like, in that panic attack state where it's too hazy, where even if Kasai was maybe a mile away from you and heading towards you, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's just... Everything is... You can hear your heartbeat in your ear. Everything is fuzzy around you. Nothing makes sense. And these weird abominations are all that you can even perceive.
I think at this point he's gonna have to take his chances, because there's no way he's outrunning them.
Oh no, they've been hot on your tail.
So I think through teary eyes, he turns around, draws his sword, and probably, well, in a fucking haze, he's probably just cursing Kasai, like, damn it, this is your fault. Shouldn't have been out here.
So you're just gonna swipe at one of the...
He'll probably, at his best chances of one of them.
We'll do attack with your short sword.
Just racing through his mind of like, damn you, if this is your idea, you're a son of a bitch.
This is just a really extreme training exercise.
It's going to be a 15 to hit.
That hits?
For 3 damage. Slashing, if that means anything. I rolled a 2 on damage.
Okay. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, that's not going to pass. I rolled a 2. For a total of a 2.
So you watch as this creature you just slashed at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looks at you, and its eyes start going back and forth, 1, then 2, then 4, then 1, then 2. And you can feel something seeping into your soul, a sort of hurt you've never felt before. And you feel it seizing over you, and like you can't... You can't even think straight. It's so overbearing, and then you get pushed to the side, and you see Kasai standing in front of these things, sword drawn, and the gaze lands on him, and you see something in him just drain a bit, and he looks a little worse for wear, and he looks at you and he goes, "Run!"
Yeah, he just fucking runs.
You run?
He's freaked the hell out. Yeah. I'm sorry, he ain't no hero.
That's fair. Kasai does his best. He holds them off. You get a good bit away. And then you hear them start to chase you again.
Damn it. I think that makes him run a little bit faster, even though he's probably already exhausted.
Could you give me an athletics check?
Oh, jeez. I rolled a 4 for a total of a 4.
You're exhausted.
Oh, absolutely.
You're pushing yourself to your absolute limit. You know, you've had stamina training, but I think Rokain never took that particularly seriously.
Nor is he breathing properly for stamina, like for running. So,
those have always been very controlled circumstances when you do the training. This is completely out of control. Do you look back?
I actually think he's too scared to at this point.
Fair.
I think he is just pushing himself to run as fast as he can.
Does a 14 hit you?
Yes, it does.
You take 5 slashing damage
Jesus Christ.
as one of these jumps atop of you. And it just starts brutally scratching at you. Another comes to your side, and you see the eyes again begin to do that same thing. Go ahead and make me a con save.
I rolled a 7. That's a 7.
You feel once again just terrified, I'm sure.
Oh, already, yeah.
And you feel once again this something seeping into you that you've never felt before. Which you're a privileged kid. You've there's a lot of pains out there you haven't felt before, but this is unnatural. You just feel it in your soul as it gazes at you. And it comes towards you, and you try to look away. And instead, it takes a hand, and it forces you to look at it. This weird, viscous, slimy, but somehow not wet hand. And it forces you to look at it. And then it goes, and it takes your eye.
Lovely.
It digs in, and you scream, I imagine.
Oh, top of his lungs as hard as he can.
You see it dig its claws in and root it out. And it begins to eat. And, Rokain, you pass out from the pain.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Just gone.
Yeah. But as you're passing out, you hear a voice saying something you don't quite understand because you're delirious.
My ears don't work right now. What do you mean?
No. You're in and out, in and out. What are you thinking as your life hangs in the balance?
I think the first thing is, damn this camping trip. Then probably 2 loved ones of his sister and then of his best friend. And falling onto his parents at the end of just like I fucking failed them. Though I don't think he fully blames himself for that. I think he's blaming more of his mentor Kursai for this at this point. Yeah, no, he is definitely an entitled little bitch.
That's fair. You're going in and out, and you don't realize it, but you're mumbling like this camping trip and saying your sister and your best friend's name now and then. and you hear a voice. Come on, you're not supposed to die on me. Not this early. Come on. and you hear someone go, oh, tiny bloke, so fucking heavy. And you're being dragged somewhere. And then you're placed somewhere. Come on, you got to work. You have to work. You have to bloody work. And you feel an energy filling you.
Yes.
And you feel stronger. You feel lighter. You know in this moment you're going to live, but your body has been through so much trauma that you do pass out. And when you awake, Rokain, it is in a room you have never seen.
I'm only half seeing this room.
Oh, yeah, and there's a shit ton of pain.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And you are alone.
Is he laying down?
Oh, you're absolutely laying down.
I was gonna say prop him up on the side of the wall or something.
Your eye is patched, like there's bandages on it. Someone has clearly taken care of you.
Yeah, I think at this point it's first like, oh, groggy, where am I? Then pain, then most likely the fear of, oh my god. Then he probably goes to move towards to feel where his eye was, and is probably in a full-blown panic attack by that point.
Do you just stay on the bed?
I think he's gonna have to get through the panic attack first before like getting up and moving around. So it might take him a while to calm down.
When you eventually do, I'm assuming you perhaps try the door.
Yeah, once he can get up and walk, yeah, if he can.
It is locked, but you do see a little note going, I'll explain everything when I'm back. More people need my help. Get your rest. You're going to need it, Rokain. Artemis, what does your character look like?
So Xelas is a tiefling, but he has Triton blood way back in him. In his case, some of the Triton features have popped out a little bit more. His ears are kind of fanned, more like the fins of a Triton. He's got dark, inky blue skin, black hair that's messy, tends to fall in his eyes. Not really long, but not really short either. He doesn't mess with it much. His horns are set forward on his head, and they're short, lumpy. Honestly, they kind of look a little bit like coral, just twisted and not well-formed looking, like you would expect out of a normal tiefling. He has a shortish tail. It's about just past his knees in length, and at the end is a fan out, which really helps him a lot with swimming because that's what he likes to do. A little bit of webbing between his toes and fingers. And right now he's currently wearing his dive pants, which are just an old pair of brown pants that he rolls up to the knees and no shirt or anything. But he does have the ability to glow a little bit. Bunch of light blue freckles basically all over his body from bioluminescence.
Xelas.
Mm-hmm.
You have stumbled's the wrong word. Stumbled would imply that there was no skill involved. And you have skill.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a little bit of luck. You have found a very large, very lucrative sunken vessel. And what's better is that you seem to be the only one currently who knows about it.
Okay.
But you know in the past, this is the kind of thing you've got to strike.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait because then other people are going to find out about it. And then it's going to get picked over.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that good stuff first.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I feel like Xelas might be smart enough not to go out when a storm's a brewing.
That's really funny because I did write a little thing where he went out where there was a storm.
But, on a riskier dive, maybe, that's why I said might in a skeptical way.
Depends on how he's feeling on the day.
But today you've decided it's worth it.
Yes. Oh, definitely for something like that.
Yeah. So go ahead. Give me, because you're being careful, because you don't want to damage the goods.
No.
But, also you have to kind of be quick, because I'm sure you wouldn't love to. It's said to be a pretty bad storm. So, you don't want to get caught in it, but you want to get as much as you can. Give me, just a flat D20 to see how you're doing.
Well, let's find out. Not well, that's a 7.
It's just the waters are really rough. And so what happens is, your breath control, it's on point. But when you're getting rocked around and you're having a hard time kind of seeing underneath because of the debris and the storm happening, you're getting some good stuff, but you're not getting,
as much as I'd like.
As much as you'd like. You feel like there's going to be, a crown jewel here somewhere, and you're not finding it. Because this was clearly, this was, a passenger ship or something.
Ooh.
This was something that was carrying some rich folks. If that would be your guess. You're experienced in this sort of thing. You can kind of look at a vessel and be like,
that looks like a rich bitch vessel.
Yeah. But as you come back to the surface with not as much as you'd like, you realize you are not alone.
Okay.
You see a familiar face. You see Vidalin. Please tell me I'm saying her name right this time.
Vidalin. I was mispronouncing it last time, too.
You see Vidalin.
Where is she?
She's a little away from you. She's looking around nervously, and then when she sees you, she looks
on the shore.
Yeah, she's on the shore.
Okay.
Yes. Which is a little surprising, because usually the underwater Triton community, when a storm's coming, they kind of bunker down there.
Yeah. But she's just out on the shore. What is she doing?
Kind of looking around.
Okay. I think Xelas would probably dive back under the water and just start swimming towards shore.
All right. Probably not with the intent of calling it quits just yet. Just...
No, drop off what I've got and possibly see what the heck she needs. Hopefully nothing. But it's usually something.
You emerge, and she kind of frowns, and she's like, How did I know you'd still be working, even with a storm of this level?
I'm predictable. Why are you out here, Vida?
To make sure that you weren't doing what you're doing.
Okay, well, I am.
There's a reason everyone in the village, including mine, is hunkering down. This is going to be a very big storm.
He kind of looks around up at the sky for a moment, just kind of checking on the weather himself now that he's out of the water.
It's not quite here yet, but you can just tell, they're not overreacting. This is going to be...
Big.
Big.
Yeah, but I found a really good ship.
A good ship isn't worth your life, Xelas.
I mean, depending on what I get back, it could be worth more than my life.
Xelas!
What? I'm not made of gold. Stuff down there is.
And you can get that when the storm's over.
Not necessarily. The storms push the ships out, make it harder to get to, not to mention tearing out anything that might be valuable in there.
Xelas, you should head home. You should lock up for the night.
probably opens up his bag to see kind of better look at what he's got and everything, just to kind of better evaluate what he has.
You have... It's not the haul you were hoping for. The haul you were hoping for, given that vessel, was like, I could live for months off this haul quite comfortably. The haul you have, you can get some fancier dinners. You can take it easy for a few weeks, maybe. But it's not gonna last you a long time if you save it and you be responsible with it, it could definitely be a nice little nest egg. Xelas isn't gonna do that.
I mean, what do you save for? There's nothing to do in the town, so like... I think as he's kind of sorting through everything, he'll kind of glance back up at Vita and be like, you should head home.
Are you going to head home?
Eventually.
Xelas?
I mean, it's not here yet. I've got some time.
One more dive. Promise me. Just one more.
All right, fine. I promise.
Okay, don't make me have to come back up here.
No, don't come back up here.
She looks at you. And she kind of sighs. As awkward as it can be with you two sometimes. And as... I don't want to say the word irritating, because she is your friend. But...
It's kind of irritating.
It's irritating. She is your friend.
Yeah.
And she does worry for you. And you two are kind of all there is left of the core four.
Yeah.
So you see the true, genuine worry. This isn't her trying to, like, be romantic. Like, this is just her worrying for someone that she loves deeply. She gives you a hug, and she goes, I mean it.
I know. I'll be fine. Give her kind of a light, awkward hug back. But, like, isn't really meeting her eyes either.
Could you make me Are you going to do one more dive?
Yes, definitely.
Are you going to do more than one more dive?
Depends on what he gets out of that one dive.
Okay, so you're not 100% planning on keeping your promise. Could you give me a deception check?
Maybe. I can't use my other hand now that Patience is laying on it. That's a 15.
She buys it.
Hey.
She kind of looks at you for a minute, sighs, and heads back down. She will be safe from the coming storm.
Cool. I feel like he goes and stores what he currently has, and he's got a hut that's, you know, further back and everything, and boxes and stuff in there that he can store things in. So I think he, you know, put what he currently has so that way it doesn't accidentally fall out or something, and in there before going back to dive again. After probably checking to make sure Vitalin is gone.
Yes. So you go back out?
Yep.
Give me another flat 20.
Oh, Xelas is going to be worth your life. That's another 14.
Not bad.
Okay.
Better stuff could tide you. It's not that crown jewel though. You know there's something good. Like you've learned in this business, you got to trust your gut. And you just know there's something in here that like your parents could like retire on type good shit, you know? I don't know if that would be his main goal, but like that's the kind of money we're talking.
I mean, something like this you don't find every day. I mean, ships crash out here, but you still don't find something like this every day.
You know, like fancy passenger ship, they don't come by here. The fact that they came by here is weird, honestly. Like you get you know, pirates who have some cool shit sometimes. You get supply ships that, you know, have useful things to sell. But you don't get, like, luxury boats going through.
Oh, yeah, but, like, Sailor's Folly is not really like a cool tourist destination point.
Yeah, you don't
look at all our rocks.
Yeah, you don't hear, ooh, Sailor's Folly. That's where any ships like that are going to Lathe, and there are better ways to get to Lathe than through Sailor's Folly.
Yeah, considering you could just sail around the fucking islands and not go between them to the Sailor's Folly.
Like, you don't know. There must have been a reason for it, but, you know, their loss.
Yeah.
Your gain.
Totally being respectful for the dead, though, yes.
Of course.
Okay, when he gets back up, how's the weather looking?
It is starting to brew. It is actively raining. It's not full-on storm yet, but it's starting. Mm-hmm. You have a good haul. Mm-hmm. This is a nice, decent haul. It is a respectable haul. Mm-hmm.
You said it's brewing, but not hit yet. About how much time?
You're experienced. I feel like you'd know.
Roughly, anyways.
Obviously, it's hard to be like 100% sure.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because like it could come in 2 seconds, it could come in an hour. Mm-hmm. You just know when it does hit, it's gonna be brutal. Mm-hmm. You think maybe you could get one more dive in?
He's going to take it.
Okay.
He's going to take it.
Do you head back to the hut to put your stuff in? Or do you just leave it there because you're like, I gotta go on time. I gotta go right back.
If it's not too much stuff, even though it's a good haul, he'd take it with him again. If it's kind of more going to be impeding him, he'd leave it there on the beach.
I feel like a lot of it is like you just found like jewels and stuff, like jewelry. Mm-hmm. Way fancier than any of the shit they sell here.
Oh yeah, we a little town.
Yes, you're a very little town. So I don't think it would impede you too much. There's maybe like 1 or 2 pieces that are a little too heavy, that are like, for some reason, you know when rich people bring weird things? They're just like, oh, I simply cannot go on this cruise without my golden statue of a cat.
Yeah.
You have like one of those.
Okay. Yeah, we'll leave that stuff on the beach, out of the tide line, but yeah.
Okay.
And then dive with the rest of the stuff.
Go ahead.
Oh, come on, dice. That's a 5.
Not only do you not get anything, you lose some of the jewelry.
Damn it.
And you feel that the storm has hit. Because it is rough waters now. It is like you are fighting the water. Mm-hmm. Like you're always fighting the water, but...
No possible way of regaining any of the jewelry?
I mean, you could make the dive for it, but it would be risky to you.
Am I able to kind of mark where it's gone?
I'll say you're experienced enough at this. Yeah, you can sort of mark and be like, okay, this is where it landed. It could get swept up, but at least I have like a starting place.
Yeah. Then yeah, he'll kind of mark but head back for the shore.
Okay.
Unhappily.
Yeah, you come up. It is roaring. It is pouring. There is thunder and lightning, and you can even see that there's some less stable buildings, like, buildings.
I was about to say,
the fish stand.
I don't think he fishes nearby the
village.
No,
but that's fair. That's fair.
His thing is kind of remote a little bit more.
Well, then, if you were there, you'd see some fish stands and stuff. This is the stuff like there will be some rebuilding that happens, but this is not unusual here. You guys know how to hunker down. You know how to stay safe.
Yeah.
Your hut isn't like collapsing, but you're like, ooh, I might have to do some maintenance on my hut. But you think it could probably be a decent place to hunker down.
Is it so bad that it would be better to hunker down here or try to make it back to the village?
I feel like it's a dicey prospect either way.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, like, you get back to the village, you get to an actual home that has the,
proper weathering stuff.
yeah. But that means you walking through this. You go to your hut. It might make it. It might not. But it also has all your shit in there.
Yeah. I mean, I think that stuff is kind of... If it's a hurricane coming through, yeah, it won't be secured. But as long as it's not that level, I think it'd be relatively secured.
Yeah.
What would you do? He is very much torn. So I'm not entirely certain. I think he'll go for his hut. Get the stuff he tossed up on the beach and head for the hut.
Okay. You head for the hut. You stash the stuff away. You get ready to just, I imagine, hunker down for a bit here. Make a perception check.
Oh, that's much better. That's an 18.
Oh, you also hear it before you see it.
Okay.
You
hear something around this storm.
Yeah, it's hard. That's why it would have been harder for you, but you rolled quite well.
Couldn't give me that for finding stuff down there, could you, dice? I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you.
For listeners, Artemis just pat the dice.
I can't make this set mad at me.
Damn it. You hear an odd noise. It's like this weird... It's almost like a stomach grumbling.
Okay.
Just... like a indigestion stomach. Like that weird gurgle noise.
Yeah.
And then against your hut, you just start hearing a thump, 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 and it's not like you've been hearing some thumps from the storm, but this is not in time with the storm.
Alright. I feel like he probably has one window. That would be it, because it's not really meant for things like
living in it.
I mean, I'm sure he's slept many times out there lately, but yeah, not really. So yeah, I think he kind of checked the window, see if he can see anything.
You do indeed see something. You see a few things.
Oh, good.
You see that your hut is quite surrounded by these black, kind of dripping wet, and not in the being rained on way, but like almost made of goo way.
Gross.
Yeah. And one of them is just slamming itself against the door as if trying to break it open, and looking from inside, it's close. Like, to breaking it. And your hut is surrounded. There are a lot of these things.
Oh, joy.
And you have never, like, you've seen some, you know your basic predators that are around here. These are not one of them.
Okay. Are they all concentrated at the door? Like, focused?
They are completely around the hut.
Okay. But it seems like their focus is more towards the door?
Yes, they do, like, they're all around, they're surrounding it, but, like, they seem to be focusing on getting in through the door, yes. But, like, there's one, like, you kind of peek out the window, and actually, you know what? Let me check if they spot you.
Oh, okay. It's raining. It's dark. I'm dark, you know.
Yeah, but that's a 19 on the die.
God damn it.
So you kind of pop your head out, and I feel like maybe you just linger a little too long because you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, probably.
You're just like,
Oh no, you know what happens? This bioluminescence starts. You see a glow suddenly in the window. He's like, oh, God damn it.
yeah, they just turn. And they immediately lunge at you, and it's almost like they realize there's a window, so they all start scrambling to get in it.
I mean, the window would be, like, shut.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they realize now that there's a window, and so they're all, like, a lot of them are scrambling. So there's, like, a door, a window. They're at your 2 exit points now.
God damn it. Are they more focused on the window now than the door?
No, equal.
Okay. Is it just one bashing against the door?
Currently, there's only one bashing, and then there's, like, some, like, waiting behind them, like, yeah, bro, bash that door. They're just being his hype men. Yeah, you go, dude. You do a great job. I believe in you, Danny.
Danny, you're gonna break my door. Come on. All right. His thought is stupid, but what he wants to do.
God damn it. Already, you're not even a leveled character, and you're already going, shenanigan time.
I mean, of the choices he has, like.
That's fair. He is kind of fucked.
Yeah. Hey, gonna watch, get a sense of the timing, go to the door, and as that creature is running up to hit, open the door so it just fucking runs into the building, hopefully by surprise, not realizing the door is going to open right then. So at that moment, he can then dart out as well.
That is a stupid but also good plan. Like, it's the best he's got.
Kind of. Yeah, I don't know what else he's supposed to do.
So yeah, you open the door and it works just as you plan. The problem is there's a bunch of ones behind him that weren't.
Yeah. Bolting. That's why he was hoping to go along the one that was running's path, you know, where they left that empty space, because it, you know, it backs up and keeps going back,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna say at least one gets a swipe at you.
Okay. Yes. I be squishy commoner.
You be squishy commoner.
Also, I was diving. It's not like I'm wearing armor. Hey, let me go dive in the storm in my armor. That totally won't kill me. Not quite that stupid.
Alright, so you take 4 slashing damage.
Ow.
And then I need you to make me a con save.
Okay. Oh, hey, that's a 19 on the dice.
Hey! So you feel something in you, like your muscles starting to tighten up, but you manage to, you know, kind of shake it off, and you keep running.
Mm-hmm. The adrenaline kind of overpowers that tightening and just he keeps going.
And they're on you. They're immediately like, oh,
there goes the prey. Let's chase it.
yeah. And it's strange because, like, if these were just normal predators heading into town, there's a lot of prey for them there.
Mm-hmm.
They're focused on you.
Yeah. I think his first thought was to run back into the ocean, but with it storming, that's going to be suicidal. So I think he ran to the beach, then went, yeah, that's not good, and then, 90-degree turn going along the beach now, more towards the town.
Yeah. So you start heading towards the town. Maybe in the back of your mind, like, I don't want to lead them to the town, but there's really no place else to lead them.
Yeah, I think he's hoping that if he can leave them behind, he can make a more direct route to the town.
Yeah.
But if they're keeping pace with him, it's still in town direction, but like, shit, I'm not leaving them behind. I need a different plan.
Yeah. Well, luckily,
Uh-huh.
a plan quite literally pops out of nowhere. You see this pure white tiefling man with these dark blue markings on him, and he looks around and he goes, "Sorry, I'm late, or maybe I'm not. I don't have a lot of time to explain, Xelas. Take my hand, and we need to get out of here.
Who the hell are you?
My name is Caxus, and I'm here to save your life."
I'm not gonna take your hand, but let's go!
No, take my hand!
Okay, he'll take his hand.
And then you're not there anymore.
Okay.
You're in an old, kind of musty building. Not like gross musty, but just like you can tell it's old, it's filled with books, it's like it's not taken care of, but it's clearly not like super lived in. Like you get what I'm describing here?
I think so.
And he goes, okay. I don't have a lot of time to explain. You're not the only one in danger.
Yeah,
but
those things are gonna go to my village.
They won't. They're after you. Once you're gone, they'll disperse. They'll start looking again.
How do you know? There was a bunch of them.
Because you have something in you that calls to I can't explain. You see that stone over there, and he points to like this really ancient looking pedestal stone-like structure that has like runes carved in it and jewels embedded in it. He's like, I need you to go step on that.
Why?
I have to go save. Okay. I need. If you step on that, it will unlock something that will make it easier to defend against those things. I really don't have time for the whole lecture right now. And you kind of hear in the distance, you hear banging on a door. That would be Rokain. He's awake. Okay.
What?
You're not the only person I've saved, and I need to save more people.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Step on the stone, please.
Do you realize how much this sounds like it's just gonna kill me, right?
I promise it won't kill you.
I guess he goes, and I feel like there's like a bit of a moment of like, did I trust this guy to like an insight?
Yeah, go ahead, insight.
Well, that's a 12.
Okay, he looks very earnest. He looks worried. He looks... Panicked isn't the word. He looks like a man who thought this day would never come, and it's come.
Oh, that's not reassuring.
At least not in his lifetime, and it's come, and he's doing his best, and he earnestly, when he's saying, like, this will protect you, I want to protect you, he means that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Xelas will kind of walk over to the stone, and you said he has to step on it?
Yeah, just stand on it.
Kind of hesitantly puts a foot on it when he doesn't immediately explode, because I'm assuming he doesn't immediately explode.
You know what? Actually, no, he does not immediately explode.
And we'll put the second foot on there.
Yeah. You stand there for a moment, and then you feel this energy entering you. And you feel that damage done to you before you feel it kind of...
Which, yeah, by the way, that knocked me down to half with my pathetic commoner health.
You feel it kind of filling you, and it's like warm and it's comforting, and afterwards you feel different. You feel like a power in you that you've never felt before. And he's like, okay, I have a room for you. You're gonna have to stay in it for a bit.
Why?
Because I don't have time. There is a man's life who is at stake right now. The same as you. There will be creatures going after him.
Okay, then go help him. Why don't you have to make me sit in a room?
Fine, then sit here. In here. Just don't move. And hopefully Rokain will wear himself out. Just stay safe.
Okay.
Yes. The person banging is severely injured and should be sleeping. So hopefully he'll go back to sleep.
The expression Xelas is giving this guy right now.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could have given you a better speech. I will give you a better later. I have to go. You'll be safe here. They can't find you here.
Okay.
Okay. And then he just disappears. And you're left sitting there wondering.
No, he's gonna go to the banging door!
You're gonna go to the banging door. Okay, you go to the banging door, and I think we'll leave that there. Cody, what does your character look like?
Ygin is a Leonin. He's about 6'5". He's got that classic kind of goldenrod tan fur all over him with a nice medium brown mane that's fluffy but not too long. And then he wears these kind of high-waisted brown pants and a cream tunic that he normally has the sleeves kind of rolled up out of the way for work. And he has a nice medium green to dark green kind of ombre sleeveless, not tunic, coat, I guess, yeah. Long vest? I don't know. It doesn't have sleeves and it goes to about his knees, and then he just has kind of wraps around his feet because shoes aren't really made for the kind of large feline feet he has.
Ygin,
Yes.
you're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
This is a travel you've made many a time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to the port city of Karath.
Can you spell that, please?
Curath. It's very hard making up spellings to made up words you just made up.
It's fair, but I'm going to make you do it every time. You should know that when I take notes.
This is a trek you make often. Kind of trek that starts in Lower Ouroboros and then goes up to the coast. And you kind of pick up merchants and guild members along the way. Because you're all going to get supplies or to sell things or things like that. So there's a few people from your town that you know, including your best friend Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few people from like neighboring towns that you don't know, but you know from this. You know from this travel
They're
that you do.
familiar faces, even if
Yeah.
I don't talk to them a lot. Yeah.
So you're on the road and Mr. Barkley, who is a local jewelry maker in your town, had just got on Drake for being Drake, essentially.
Uh-huh.
So he's kind of by you pouting at the moment. He's like, I was just making some jokes.
You know he's not a humorous man.
It is a long trip, Ygin.
I'm aware.
Jokes are needed.
Not for him. I think he dies a little inside every time he hears a joke. He's not allowed to have fun, you know that.
Poor man's wife. I feel so sorry for that woman.
She's a little coarse herself, though.
That's true. Match made in hell.
Mm-hmm. Hell doesn't exist, but yes.
Oh, crap.
Match made in oblivion? That's what I used last time.
Match made in oblivion. You know, little Ygin was disappointed he couldn't come with.
I know.
He's your apprentice, after all.
I'm aware, but he's barely big enough to be working in the shop, much less traveling to another city.
I don't disagree. However, as his father, I'm going to let you take the bad guy points.
And that's fine, but he will be spending the time I'm away with my mother and father, learning other things.
That is fair. I did try to make him see that. He just thought that you weren't treating him as a proper apprentice.
I am. He's just not old enough to just start all of that yet. Again, he hasn't even had his hand on any of the tools yet. Just knows what they do.
Still, you'll have to make it up to him.
Well, you know I will. And Zara will be there to keep him company.
Oh, he'll probably forget about you in an hour if Zara's there.
Exactly.
You continue along. I imagine making small talk with either Drake or some of the others.
The parent, my mother's fucking competition from town.
Yeah, he's nowhere near as good.
Well, obviously.
Your mother does, like, fine jewel. He does kind of, like, gaudy. Like, he gets business because your mother doesn't do that kind of work. She does.
It's for the people that are like, I need to prove my wealth and standing, so I need the biggest, shiniest thing in the world, not the fine, more sentimental, more detailed work that...
Yes.
Layla. There we go. That's my mom's name. That Layla does.
Yes. So, like, they don't step on toes, really. If anything, your mother probably, if someone comes to her wanting something like that, she points them Mr. Buckley's way.
Probably.
I don't know if it's vice versa, as
Probably
we've said
not,
that
but...
Mr. Buckley is a shitty man, but
just an unhumorous man, just a crusty old man.
just a crusty old man. But yeah, there are other people. There's, like, you know, Drake's going there for, like, construction, both for supplies and for, like, a job, to help out because, you know, when you live in a town that's not like, oh, everybody knows everybody, not that, but, like, it's not huge. There's not always a ton of construction for him. So he has to go to neighboring towns, and when he goes to a bigger city, you know, more jobs. He's probably sharing your wagon. Assuming you're okay with that.
Of course he's okay with his bestie sharing his wagon.
You know, there's a few others. There's a woman named Mona from another town. She sells linens and does some sewing and things like that. She's going to go get cloth and also sell her wares in a bigger city. Always good to have that opportunity. And Mona's just a lovely woman. You know, she's always someone you enjoy having on these trips. She has a sense of humor.
Which is good for Drake, if nothing else.
Which is good for Drake. And she always kind of brings, like, little goodies along. So instead of just being stuck with, like, your base rations, when you guys stop for the night, you at least have a nice little dessert of, like, cookies or something. So Mona's good folk.
We like Mona.
We like Mona.
Not a fan of Mr. Barkley, but we like Mona.
Not a fan of Mr. Buckley. But you've been on the road now for maybe about half the time that it takes. With all your stops, I feel like this is easily a month to a month and a half trip. It kind of depends, you know? But because you're stopping and picking up fellow caravanners, it takes some time. But again, it's the safest way to travel. could you... It is the morning. Everyone's packing up. And could you make me a perception check?
Maybe. Ooh, a 16.
A 16. So you're packing up supplies from camping and getting ready to go. Drake's already sitting on the wagon. And you're about to get in when you hear growling, and it's howling, but not the sort of wolf howl you'd expect. It's this serrated almost howl. Like it sounds like it's being ripped from vocal cords almost. It doesn't sound right. And in the distance, you see this sort of shifting, oozy, the best way, like venom, kind of, sort of oozing and moving, pack of wolves that are quite big, and they are running straight for the caravan.
I imagine with a caravan this big and a bunch of people that make this trip fairly regularly, they have kind of call signs of impending. So he probably like gives this really loud whistle that's known to be like, hey, there's danger coming, prepare accordingly, because they're all merchants. Most of, like, some probably hire guards to a degree, but they're all just, you know, city folk just trying to make their living. But it definitely to draw attention to the incoming danger.
Yeah. And there's a few people who, like, they take out weapons, they have things that defend themselves, like, you know, Drake has probably made by
Durant,
yeah, a short sword. He's not the best with it, but he is not the worst with it. You know, a few of the others take out clubs, and then there are others who are just like, we're not good with weapons, we're going into wait. And I feel like it's understood on the caravan that, like, okay, if you maybe don't have, like, a big wagon that you can, like, duck into, you're allowed to go into, like, other people's wagons.
Yeah, it's a survival of the group over every man for himself when it comes to stuff like this.
So, like,
especially from animals or beasts or something.
Yeah. Mr. Berkeley just goes straight into his wagon, like, seals it up. Mona ducks into yours. What do you do?
I mean, at first, he probably just kind of does a scan of the group to make sure, like, the older folk, or if some do have younger children with them, to make sure they're somewhere safe. He does pull out his dagger just in case, but he's more focused on making sure other people are safe if they need help getting closed up in anything or securing their goods, kind of stuff.
There are definitely people who, you know, they're trying, because it's a little chaotic.
No one was prepared for this. Some people are still waking up. Some people are still packing up. Kind of everything's everywhere. It's not we can just get in our wagons and start heading out.
Exactly. So you see a young teen who this was like his first time doing anything. He's scrambling. He doesn't know what to do in this situation, and you can tell that. He's never had to deal with this.
So at that, Ygin probably, like, goes over to him and, like, claps a hand on his shoulders. Just get in your wagon and stay safe.
I don't...
It's
Shouldn't
right.
I help? I know how to use a bow. I can help, I think.
If you think you can use your bow, do it from the opening of your wagon. But if things get hairy, close yourself in. Focus on keeping yourself safe, all right?
Okay. And he runs, and he gets in a wagon. And I feel like Ygin is like, obviously not patting himself in the back way, but like he's a wise man. He knows he just saved that kid's life.
Yeah, that's a. I'm gonna let you feel like you're being helpful, but I am saving your life whether you know it or not.
Yeah. You hear Drake just go, aspects above. What are those things? Because they're getting closer, and they're more and more like these are not natural beings.
Mm-hmm. So he probably heads back over to Drake and like trying to get a better look as well and just we need to shore up. I'm not sure what those are either, and I'm not sure if we can fight them.
They look like wolves, but
like ink spills.
Ink spills, yes. That he also looks around, kind of making sure most everyone is either getting safe or is safe at this point. Luckily, the people who cannot fight or will not fight,
which is understandable that there are some that can't and won't because they're not going to help more than hurt. Yeah.
They're all locked away. You and maybe like a handful of other people, a young woman with a bow, is taking aim. 2 men who seems to have been hired by someone. They don't look like elite guards, but
that they've seen some kind of combat.
Yeah, they're like the security guards.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know their shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then one other young man with a club.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be who are out. Other people are like armed, but they're in there like in case like somehow they get in, or, you know.
They're more prepared to protect themselves, not try to protect the caravan.
Exactly. You guys are the only ones probably staying out to protect the others. And the 2 who seem to have experience, they look a little like they have combat experience, but that doesn't mean they have strategy experience. So they kind of just look at each other and then just start running for the wolves. And Drake goes, that seems like a bad idea.
That's a very bad idea.
You see the young woman, she takes a good shot. She gets one of the ink spill wolves. And the arrow seems to like absorb into it. Like it makes a whimper, again grating, like it's like being torn out of its throat. But it seems to hurt it, just it dissolves inside of it.
That's not great.
Drake again is like, fuck.
They're like void incarnate.
Should we just go? Should we? And then you see the 2 who ran up. They take some slashes, and the wolves pounce on them, and they just rip out these guards' throat.
Good. That's
and
good.
They come straight. And Ygin, make a perception check.
Soft 20.
Hey, you notice something in that moment. You're a perceptive guy.
Apparently.
You notice something in that moment, probably because you're hyper aware right now. Like you don't know what these things are. You want to keep them safe, but right now you're like, should I even be out here?
It's like, what is this? Should we just try to run even if we don't have all our shit? Yeah.
And you notice that they seem to have only attacked those guys because
they got in their way.
They are heading for you. They don't seem interested in any of the caravan, in food, in other people. Like, if they were, they take their meal, they go. No, they're heading straight for you.
I think when Ygin realizes that, he starts to sidestep, kind of glances at Drake, and says, "We should split up."
What? No, I'm not leaving you.
Stay here. And he starts to move away from Drake. And if the wolves get close enough to him, and by close enough I mean within 10 feet, he is going to attempt to use his daunting roar.
That's fair. Make a persuasion check on Drake, though. Your bestie isn't just gonna...
That's a 7. I'm perceptive, not persuasive.
Yeah, you step away and Drake is following.
One of us needs to make it back to Ygin and Zara.
Why does it get to be me?
Because it seems like they're focusing in on me. I don't know why, and I don't know what's happening. But if they're focused on me, they need to be focused on me. And then he just starts fucking running.
Yeah. I think you said about the one thing that no persuasion roll needed. He starts getting the caravan up. Like, if you're getting them away, which you are, he's going to get the caravan to safety. Like, stop heading towards the fucking city. Like, that's gone. We're going home, guys. This is, at least people who are willing. Others are like, oh, they're chasing that guy? Okay, cool. And they just go forward.
Which is fair.
But yeah, they're chasing you. And I assume Egan's first thing is getting them as far as possible.
Yeah, he just starts running in the complete opposite direction of the caravan and letting them chase him as far as he can.
Yeah. Which they do, and then eventually, probably because, again, you're a commoner. You don't run this far this long for...
I don't run.
They do get close enough for you to use the daunting roar.
So yeah, he'll skid and turn to face them and let out this deep bellowing roar, and then I believe it's a Constitution save on their thing. Not that it'll do him much except earn him some time, because they'll be afraid of him for a turn if they fail, which I doubt they will.
What's the DC?
10.
Two of 5 fail. So they're afraid of you.
How many are there?
5.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that just and that only lasts for a round. So that earns me 6 seconds from 2 of them.
Yeah. One of them is just gonna lunge.
Fair enough. If he can, Ygin will kind of just be dagger first. If it pounces on him, that's running into the dagger.
Absolutely, I'll allow that. So it'll do damage to you, but you can roll damage on the dagger.
Just roll damage. Don't worry about hitting.
Don't worry about hitting, because it does not care.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 19 on the die.
Yeah, that fucking hits. I'm gonna die.
You take 15 damage.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm just down. That was 3 shy of an instant kill.
I rolled max damage.
It'll be great to already just start the second character when I already have all this shit for Ygin.
So you're going down. Life flashing before eyes. You see Chandra, you see Zara, you see your parents, you see Drake. Classic stuff. You don't see a bright light because there is no heaven or hell. There is
an
only
afterlife, I'm sure.
There is only, oblivion and whatever comes next. Who's to say what that is? And in between that, you feel hands grip you. All right. Yeah, no, this is bad. Okay. And you feel something at your lips. And someone massaging your throat. And you take...
This is worse than something entering me.
You get your your max health back. You get 9
Thank
HP
you.
back.
Thank you.
And as you kind of come to, after a health potion has been forced down your throat, you feel yourself like lurching, and you're suddenly not where you were.
Just kind of a.
Are you
the
okay?
aspects?
Are you okay?
That's a subjective question.
Yeah, I know.
Where am I?
You're
What
somewhere
happened?
safe that they can't track you here. I need you. Come here, and he kind of gently takes your hand, helps you up. And
he's a little dazed and confused.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just kind of going with the motions.
And he guides you over to the stone. And you feel instantly, this vigor and this energy enter you, and something changes fundamentally about you. You have no idea what the fuck that
No
just was.
idea what the fuck's going on.
It felt good. God damn it. It felt warm and comforting. It didn't feel like a bad thing.
You made the mistake of saying you feel something entering you once and we're never gonna let it go. Or I'm never going to let it go.
Anyway.
I'm only a little sorry.
But you do feel revitalized. You then, he's like, wait a minute, there's no Zealot. Oh, God. Ygin, I know a lot is going on. I have to find the other two.
Other two?
There were others being hunted like you, and then I promise I'll explain everything.
I would hope so.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Roll for Focus from Campaign 1 Ouroboros. This episode was edited by Cody, transcriptions are by Artemis, character art is by Miajik, also known as Fiesta TB. She can be found at linktree/Miajik, that's MEDEKH. You can visit us at rollforfocus.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and TikTok at Roll for Focus. If you want to do more to support us, for as little as $1 a month, you can join our Patreon, Roll for Focus Podcast. Get exclusive looks at character sheets, ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, monthly extra content, give fan submissions for names or items, shoutouts at the end of the episodes, and more.
You feel something else entering you. An energy, not something phallic.